This is King World News. I'm Eric King, and you're about to hear the exclusive King World News Weekly Metals Wrap with Ted Butler. For more interviews, remember to go to our homepage at www.kingworldnews.com, where this week we have a terrific interview with Congressman Stearns discussing his exchange with former Treasury Secretary Henry Paulson. We also have John Malden, who authors the weekly Thoughts from the Front Line and Outside the Box, as well as Michael O'Higgins, well known for his Dogs of the Dow theory. Gold closed the week at $955 and silver near the $13.90 level. The Gold Bugs Index, or HUI, ended near the 360 area. Joining us now is Ted Butler, well known for his writings on silver and gold. Ted, talk to me about the current Commitment of Traders report, because you said there is something interesting to note.
Hey, Eric. Yeah, there is something that occurs every once in a while in the Commitment of Traders that I've noticed over the last 10 or 20 years. And what that is if you have a very big price change on the cutoff day, Tuesday, not all the information gets into the next report. And I think that's what's happened this week. We had a very large sell-off in gold and in silver, commencing on Tuesday, carrying through until Wednesday. We had a corresponding rally starting on Tuesday, carrying into Wednesday in the dollar, and other commodities there were almost dislocating type movements. And when you have this, it's kind of rare when you have these big moves on Tuesday. What can happen is that the data, the current data, does not get into the new report. And like the report today that was issued, I don't think carried the full data from what took place on Tuesday. It certainly didn't carry the information that took place on Wednesday, which was after the cutoff, of course. But I don't think it carried Tuesday's information into the reports this week on gold and silver and the dollar and a number of other commodities. I don't think there's anything, I'm not saying there's anything wrong, I'm not making any, accusations, whatever. It's just that a pattern I've noticed over the years that if you have a big change in price and trading volume right into Monday, or even on Monday, but certainly on Tuesday, the cutoff day of the Commitment of Traders, the information just doesn't get transmitted. I think it's a logistical thing. I don't think there's anything necessarily deliberate about it or underhanded about it. It just happens. So the bottom line is, I think the reports that came out today would be more accurate to portray them as being as of the close of business on Monday rather than as of the close of business on Tuesday. And that's the eyes I'm looking at them through.
So in percentage terms, very quickly, because we always do this, Ted, where are we on gold and silver in terms of deterioration?
Okay, based upon my subjective analysis of what I think really took place on Tuesday and certainly on Wednesday, I detect a big improvement, even though it didn't show it in this week's report. So I think that we're better by about 4,000 or 5,000 contracts in the silver report and better by 10,000 or more in the gold report. The bottom line is that in terms of the percentages that we used last week, 100% being very bearish, 0 being very bullish, I'd peg gold, which I think I pegged last week at 75 or 80%, near the bearish extreme, has improved down to like maybe 70% or so. So there's more room for gold to go up after the action that we saw this week. In the case of silver, where I was pegging it, I think last week at 25% or so, I put it well under 20. There's an awful lot of room for silver to move up after this week's action. And I'll note this, that to give a bottom line, is that we closed a little bit higher for the week in both gold and silver, remarkably from last Friday. Remarkably, I'm saying that the Commitment of Traders structure is improved, over the last week with the midweek sell-off that we've had. So we're in much better shape on both of them, particularly on silver, than we were a week ago. And as I think I conveyed last week, I thought we were in good shape already on silver. I think we're in better shape right now.
Ted, I understand you wanted to talk about the hearings the CFTC conducted this week on position limits.
Yeah, thanks for asking, Eric. Boy, I tell you, I think these were unprecedented and historic in nature. I think it's the most important thing that I've witnessed in the 35-plus years that I've been following the markets and following the CFTC. what took place. Maybe I'm, again, too close to it. Maybe it's too personal to me. But when I witnessed, and you can get if anybody hasn't had the opportunity to actually witness the hearings, they ran from 9 o'clock in the morning to about 1 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time on both days, Tuesday and Wednesday. And if you happen to miss it and you have the inclination, you can retrieve it from the CFT site. They already have it up on a web archive. You can witness the whole hearing. To me, it was, again, it's very personal, but it was like a little kid going to Disney World for the first time. I was just amazed and confounded by what I was hearing. They were hitting all the right issues. If I thought that the CFTC meant business as far as this position limit business and the interpretation of who's a legitimate hedge exemption, I came away from this report even more convinced that they're getting down to business, and it shocks me, it impresses me to no end. I realize I'm very alone on this issue. Virtually all the public contact, emails and stuff that I get are telling me that don't believe them, it's going to be business as usual, and while I'm allowed to be wrong, I don't think so. I think this is real serious stuff that's going on. I think it's good for the market. I'm just tickled pink about it. And anybody who hasn't don't rely on public newspaper reports and don't rely on TV opinion pieces on it. Go look at it for yourself. There's nothing like looking at the source data itself. And I think if you look at it and you look at it objectively, you'll come away as impressed as I am.
I've noticed that you have been extremely complimentary in your writings the last couple of months about the current CFTC chairman, Gary Gensler. Do you still feel that way very quickly? Do you still feel that way after the hearings?
More than ever. This guy is the real deal. He is a dedicated public servant. The people that come to me and tell me that, don't believe him, he's a former Goldman Sachs partner and not to be trusted, I say nonsense. I may be proven wrong in time, but this guy, I made the comment in an article not too long ago that he has the potential of being the best CFTC chairman in history. I want to revise that. He already is the best chairman in CFTC history, and I'll just be shocked if he doesn't follow through. He's doing everything right. He's only been there for 2 months, and I hope he's there for the next 30 years if he's so inclined. He's that good.
Well, thank you, Ted, so much for joining us, for updating us on all of those things.
Thanks, Eric. You have a good weekend.
Thank you for joining us at KingWorldNews.com. Remember to go to our homepage for more interviews, and be sure to tune in next week for another great show where we will have part 2 of John Malden's interview, plus more outstanding guests. For more KWN exclusive interviews, you can go to our business page and our Gold Plus page. On the Gold Plus page, we have exclusive weekly interviews with Ted Butler and a distinguished member from GATA, and we will also have James Turk and Trace Meyer next week in the Gold Broadcast section as well.